Hello everybody and welcome to another Total Annihilation replay. Today we've got a personal favorite of mine, a map known as Lava and Two Hills, which is exactly what's on the cover here. Here we have lava and we have two hills. This little river of lava splits the map right down the middle. On the left side we have Canuck of the BTU clan, and then on the right side we have Natas of the BTU clan. Also known as Jorn. This was provided to me by their fellow clan member, Eb Duncan, so thanks for sending that demo in for me. And this one right here, you can see we have Natas starting, solar and wind. Now, wind on this map, it's kind of hit or miss. So it's not uncommon to mix in solars with this one. You can see Canuck is going air first, and Jorn is going vehicle. And so Canuck says, loan me some money, I want to go fast M storage. Of course, he's just trolling around here. You can see on this map here, we've got these little nodes, which are reclaimable for energy, and then these rocks too. This map isn't even. There are some things that make it not balanced. Now, on this side, this is actually wide enough for construction vehicles to get through. So going vehicle works on the bottom, whereas on the top, if you want to be able to walk through and get through down here, you can't use construction vehicles. Only K-bots can. So you can see Canuck is, who I believe is Canadian, in case you can fact check me on that one. He's building a aircon. He said he's only played this map about 5 times in his whole life. You can see the reason why he's putting out the aircon is there are these rocks that are located all over the map, including on Natas's side, that are available for him to reclaim. So he's thinking he can go ahead and snag those really quickly. So Canuck is asking at the start, do you play the pick way? And what he's asking is whether or not he plays like Picardo, who's another expert player, and he says, well, you move your comm yourself. Because sometimes the comm has really bad pathfinding, so if I were to tell the commander, you need to go from here to here, instead of walking in a straight line, which would be the shortest path to get him there, he might meander or drop down a little bit. It's actually something that's really weird. Don't know exactly why it does that. But that also means while at the start, you actually have the time to micromanage your commander. Now, this game was played in 2003, so this was before my time playing this one, and my approach to this map is very, very different. And we'll get a demo up here, I think, of me playing on this one eventually, so you guys can see what I did. That's quite different. So I kind of changed the way it was played a little bit. And then Canuck points out that there are rocks. Probably not the best thing to do, and by starting on his side, especially when there are big juicy rocks on his opponent's side that he can run and grab. But he might be a little nervous, thinking that there's going to be something that's going to shoot down his con that he rushed for. At this point, if Natas can see, he might have noticed that these rocks have disappeared, as you can see on his side. So you can see he's walking his commander down to the middle here. This gap is actually short enough that you can actually fire a D-gun across it. So you can see he's actually dropping missile towers. So Nuck says, I need to restart. This is awful. That is correct. He is not doing well at all. So he's mostly just kind of goofing around, it seems. And that's what Duncan told me about this one. This is basically just a bunch of guys goofing around this map. But this ends up being how this map actually got played. Here comes the bomber. Nails those 2 mexes, not a bad run overall. Comes back on, tags the missile tower, but drops down to the Samson. So you can see, though, now he's got these mexes in the middle, and he's also denied these really good spots. So Nuck says he's on 2.5 metal, and Jorn is on 7. So Jorn's definitely looking good right now. Jorn has reclaimed his vehicle plant, and now it's time for Jorn to go air. Natas is... Nuck is definitely struggling. It's moving really fast there. I've got this one sped up to +10. Interesting there, Nuck dropping the... not a bad call, because he's not losing any metal, even though it's going down. The only thing he's really lost there is energy. It returns the metal to you as it's idling, so if you start building something. So you can see Nuck has built a Atlas, and now he is flying all the way over here to Jorn's side. Going for a little stroll. And because Jorn doesn't have any radar on that side, he can't see that Nuck is busy dropping a vehicle plant. And he isn't in line of sight yet, so he doesn't know he's there. Nuck says, oh, I messed up. He says, can I have 1,000 metal, please? And he says, sorry, no can do. Yeah, so he's talking, Jorn is saying sometimes he moves his cons around. And here comes the Jeff. Not sure if that's the first unit I would have gone. See, what Jorn's trying to do here is he's actually trying to reclaim it. And so that's why he had to move it around. Flash comes in, bags the con, and it looks like Nuck might be back in business. And what you're seeing here is actually, this is how this map got played a bunch. I remember before I started changing up the way I played on this one, I remember people bringing comms to other sides constantly. And you can see what Natas is doing here is he's getting his commander up towards where he probably presumes Canucks commander is, because he already came over, he bombed, he saw what he has over here, he saw he didn't have a vehicle plant, he's still air, meaning he knows intuitively that flash had to come from a vehicle plant somewhere, that Jeffy came from a vehicle plant somewhere. So the missile towers here, they'll prevent a comm rush if you have enough of them, and you can see that's what it looks like Jorn is planning to do here. So he's dropped all these missile towers, so if Nuck comes walking down with his commander, he can take him out. He's also dropping an LLT. These have really, really short range, pretty high damage. But again, that's just some comm deterrent right there from comm rushing. So you can see Nuck has brought a con vehicle back over to his side to provide additional build power over here. He's down to a single missile tower. So here you go. He spies him up on radar, and he starts attacking the comm. Already half health. There's no way he's going to be able to comm rush that. And Nuck is dropping a Guardian. Having reclaimed his vehicle plant, he is now able to have enough metal to do that. But again, Jorn is just ahead because he's got everything on his side down here capped. And he's got 2 construction vehicles working on this air. Nuck says, you got my 1K metal, I need to finish my BB, which of course he doesn't have. Didn't really get him much there. 1.2. He spies the Guardian. Nano blocks it. And Jorn starts working on his own Guardian, dropped by the con. Keeps dropping those nano frames, nano block from the bombers. Now, it might have been better there for Jorn to come in and bomb those 2 missile towers out, and then he'd actually be in a decent amount of trouble. But here he comes, Natas walking up. He says that 1K metal will be nice right about now. And he backs off. Gets the con. And Nuck says, I will degun. So he's threatening to decon him right here. Again, this is what you're looking at here. This is not uncommon for this map in this time frame, which is why a lot of people didn't like to play it. There we go. Jorn taking out those missile towers, bombing the Guardian. Natas getting his comm shot at. His comm's down to half health, and his Guardian's only halfway down at this point. Now you can see that his construction vehicle has gone to work, and now Nuck is actually ahead of Jorn in metal production just because he's managed to block him off from these 2 mexes right here. He's just nano-blocking with his comm. Now, some of those shots might get through. You can see how he take a little bit of damage there, but as long as he continues to do that, this aircraft will slowly but surely finish this. Jorn in the red. And now, Nux switches targets. He's looking to take out some other stuff. He's now nano-blocking. Just trying to get this guard up. He's got the commander target with these missile towers. And the Guardian gets done. Bringing the missile towers in still. And because he's not there nano-blocking, Nut comes up, gets repelled by the light laser tower. And the fact that Jorn warned him LD gun as well. Now these missile towers will help drop the nanoblock. But the comm wasn't too strong. The air cons weren't good enough. The Guardian took out his opponent's Guardian. Still got missile towers up. Nux says, I have no idea how you did that, but good work. You can see he's dropped a metal storage, the one that he was joking about earlier in the game, so that way he can pick up this wreck, which is worth 1,500 metals. So his plan is to pick that up, and then peace out. Missile towers weren't good enough to bring down the Guardian either. This Geo's been up the whole time. So now they're about even on resources, but Canuck has to go for a ride. Jorn says, it's called nano-shielding, of course. Nano-shielding. Nux says, not with MT shooting, can't rebuild fast enough. And Jorn says, I can. So here he goes. Now here's an invulnerable spot. If Jorn had a fighter, he'd be able to snag that comm as he's getting picked up. But it looks like Nuck's going to be able to make his escape. Metal's about even, although at this point, Nuck is excessing. And he's dropping advanced vehicle down here. Now, Bertha up here on this hill can shoot across and hit the majority of the map. We'll speed this one back up. You can see he's missing. He's having a little bit of trouble. Again, when you're flying over these hills right here, you can see how these are really, really highly elevated. You do have to aim your bombs in front of your actual target. He ends up bringing in a flash to take it out eventually. So the other interesting thing about this map is you can see these little bumps are all over it. You actually can't build in some of these places. There's only certain spots that you can, because if you try and build on where these little bumps are, it just won't let you. So it actually makes building a little bit more difficult. He says, thanks for that metal storage. Now at this point, Nuck should probably just self-destruct that. He doesn't need it anymore for the storage capacity, and he doesn't need to give Jorn the metal. For those who actually want to try that command out in your own game, if you want to check it out, it's contour. So you just do plus contour, and then however many numbers you put after it, the higher the number, the more lines you're going to get. So I do 11, which gave you the gradient that you saw. But if you do contour 100, you'll see we get this one line that's across here, because that's the distance between the two. This is contour 1. So, useful if you're looking at a map for the first time. Plenty of AA here. Nuck is working on his own geo. So Jorn has had his up for a while, and so he already has his advance done. Nuck's advance is done as well. Continuing to raid bomb. Again, Nuck's been denied this the whole time because of these missile towers right there. Typically when I'd bomb, I'd always make sure to bomb a missile tower on the way in too. It was probably a little easier to do his core than it was arm. But he managed to finally bag that mechs. Scouting's overrated. I've been informed, reliably informed, that I don't do it enough. One con down there. for Nook. And 3 for Jorn. I don't know why he's putting out so many, and he hasn't rebuilt that mechs either. I don't think that was typical of play in this period, in this time period. There he goes. He's dropping it now. The reason why he built that metal storage is he intends to reclaim his advanced vehicle plant, which costs around 2,000, and that is not going to be enough storage that comes with your commander, which is 1,000. Plus, you get a little bit for each of the cons and factories that are out there. And Nuck says he's not stalling. Finally, more than +3 at last. You can see he brought this Atlas up here where he can drop his Big Bertha. He doesn't have very much anti-air at all, but it doesn't look like Jordan's taking advantage of that. He's just focused on building. He's doing the same thing. He's going to go grab one of those cons and bring it up. See right here, he is reclaiming. Nuck says, I love the Q system in this game. I've seen some people when they play it, if you're a first-time player, they don't use the shift key when they're building things, you know, and I'm watching some of these videos on YouTube. It's like, oh, this game's amazing, and they're doing one command at a time. You can hold down shift, and you can do multiple build commands. Jordan says he has 5,000 metal, and Nuck says, nice, build me a Big Bertha, please. I need to attack you with something. Of course, both of them are working on their Big Berthas at about the same time. So remember that guard war that happened right about here? We're about to have the big version of it going on between Big Berthas. 2 cons by Nuck. 3 by Jorn. Nuck started his a little sooner. I anticipate we will see them come up close to the same time. Well, it looks like I think Jorn's going to be ahead because he simply has more resources available. Nuck working on more bombers. And you can see Jorn's actually got enough bombers ready to even bomb out a Big Bertha at this point, particularly if it's not protected well. Nuck wonders, I wonder if my plane math is still right. How many bombers kill Big Bertha again? Jorn says 7, and I believe he is correct. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right now. So he doesn't have enough himself. He's planning on coming down to killing the Geo. Lost a bomber early though. So you saw what he did there is he had a lead bomber come in and 2 bombers behind, but he wasn't spaced properly and he lost one of the bombers. So he only did half the damage. It takes 2 bombers to kill a geothermal plant if it's unprotected. You need to do a lead bomb if you are... you need to have a lead bomber out there if it's got wind in front of it. He says, nice BB, can I have it? And Jorn's Big Bertha's up first and immediately takes out that air plant. Nuck calls him something unkind. Nuck says, you got my nuke. And Nuck's Big Bertha's up. And I don't think Jorn has spotted it yet. But he has now. And now his Big Bertha's already got some veterancy, although he doesn't have anybody in front of it to nanoblock. Nuck says this is not going to be good. He doesn't have enough energy to shoot. He says, is my BB even firing? There it goes. It finally fires a shot off. Misses. And Jorn comes in from the backside. Takes it out with a requisite number of bombers. Jorn says, what BB? You can see it just barely died. And then his own Big Bertha shot reduces that 4,000 mech down to 2,000. So he's working on another. But now we think he's got his commander targeted. It doesn't take too many shots from a Big Bertha to take out a commander. There you go. Actually, he's switching up. He's going to take out the Geo. Not a bad call. Each shot, this thing's building up its accuracy, although I think he clicked on the winds on the top missile tower instead of clicking on the Geo. Nuck says, I needed that Geo, thanks. So he's pretending like it got destroyed, even though it's still alive. So, because Jorn thinks he got it. So that's some of the things you can do in chat, is you can kind of say things that aren't necessarily true. Because it's true that he needed the Geo. It's just, he still has it. Jordan's talking about Rick being jealous of his BTU tag. Rick was Crippler. Crip. I don't know if that's actually true. Rick will have to inform us in the comments if you're watching the video. Right now, not good scouting by Jorn. So his Big Bertha is not doing much, but there he goes. He scouts again. All he had to do was hold down Shift and click on each and every one of these things, probably starting right there with the Big Bertha, and then click on the rest of the stuff. His Bertha is high enough. He's definitely got the advantage of the game, appears to be his. 27 kills, so yeah, that's super veteran now. He says, it's time for my last flight of the Atlas, I think. So he's picked up his commander. He's got a Rage Armor, and he's dropping a Fusion as well. I don't know where Jorn dropped his commander. Although, it's entirely possible that his commander is hiding behind one of these little rocks. And Nuck, his comm, is about to fly over, and I'm trying to remember where it shows up at. Nuck says, this is my 6th time playing this map. I do not expect much. There goes the comm. Right here. He's gonna find a missile tower. Lonely missile tower. Jordan says, it's not like I play this map a lot. Now, what he's done is he's now moved it down. He's coming around on the right side. Yeah, Jordan's saying, you almost had me with that guard move. Here it comes. Flying in, and will he get to set down? No, he doesn't. He gets that Big Bertha, though. Victory to Jorn. Nuck gets taken out. I hope that was an entertaining little introduction to Lava and Two Hills. This is one of those things that Total Annihilation had that I think a lot of other games didn't. Is these really kind of weird, quirky maps with either low resources or just kind of interesting dynamics, and the game actually works surprisingly well on them. You can see Nuck was way behind on overall metal production the entire time, basically. He did go even while he had that top side, but then as soon as he dropped that, Jordan was able to kind of run away with the building, get his Big Bertha up faster, and open fire quicker as well. So, all right, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this game from 2003, and I will catch you all next time. Remember to smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment if there's a particular video you want to see as well, or a particular map you're interested in checking out. Or player, or era, and I'll be sure to check those out. And if you want to join us on the Discord, the Total Annihilation Universe Discord, you can do that too, and you can catch me a line there. Other than that, I will see you all around. Take care.